Hey everybody, we're so glad you joined us today. We have something special for all the kids. So I want you to grab your kids, go get your brother or sister, and come around because we have a special story that we want to tell you today. How many of you are excited about Christmas? It's just a few days away. Somebody just say, yeah, I'm excited about Christmas. I bet you're excited too because at Christmas time you probably get a gift. And a lot of people like getting presents. I know I like to get presents at Christmas. Well, today we want to take an opportunity to tell you a story about a brother and a sister who really liked getting gifts. But they learned something that at Christmas time, there's also the joy of giving gifts. So we're going to read this story, The Joy of Giving. It was the week before Christmas, and all over Bear Country, everyone was busy getting ready for the big day. They were Christmas shopping and Christmas decorating and Christmas everything. Down at the chapel in the woods, the cubs of Bear Country were busy getting ready for Christmas Eve play. I know some of you have been in Christmas plays before. It was the story of the first Christmas, and brother and sister had a very important role. What do you think their role might have been? Well, we're going to tell you. They were going to be the camel for the three wise bears. Sister was at the front of the camel and brother was at the rear, and they thought it was the best costume ever. They thought it was fun to be a camel. Mrs. Ursula, their Sunday school teacher, was directing. All right, wise bears, she called, enter stage right. The three wise bears came on stage. They carried gifts and wore long robes and crowns and fake beards, and they followed the Christmas star. The first wise bear was played by Sammy Bruno, who lost his front tooth, and that made it hard for him to say the word star. He said, a tar, as he was missing his tooth. I see it right there. Mrs. Ursula said, okay, Camel, you're on. Sister and brother followed the three wise bears. It was hard to see out of the costume. Sister accidentally knocked over the tree and the wise bears tripped and everybody went sprawling everywhere. Oh dear, said Mrs. Ursula. Will we ever be ready? Sorry, I'm so sorry, said Sister, poking out from behind the costume. It's hard to see in there. I'll need to make your peepholes bigger, said Mrs. Ursula. That's enough for today, Kit. It's time to go home. The cubs took off their costume and went to the evening air. Brr, said Sister, it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Yeah, I agree, said Brother. The whole neighborhood was decorated. Brother and Sister walked home in the soft glow, all kinds of pretty Christmas lights. The next day, the Bear family went shopping. It was time for brother and sister to pick out some special gifts. This year, they had two $10 bills to spend. Wow, $10, that's a lot of money. Of course, brother and sister hoped that they would have some money left over for themselves after they bought their gifts. Sister wanted a brand new Barbie doll, and brother wanted a special model airplane. Papa and Honey helped brother to do his shopping while Mama went with sister. Brother picked out a Barbie doll outfit that was on sale, and sister bought an airplane model for her brother. Each cost just a few dollars. That means they had some money left over in their pockets. Mama and Papa thought that maybe the cubs should have spent a little bit more money on giving gifts. They wanted to keep a little bit extra money for themselves. Over the next few days, Christmas excitement in Bear Country grew and grew. Brother and sister could hardly wait. They were going to be the camel in the play, and they were going to get lots of presents. Play rehearsals went well. Sister could see better out of her bigger peepholes, and everyone knew their lines. When Christmas Eve finally arrived, practically everybody jammed the church in the woods to see the cubs perform. A hush fell and the curtain opened and the play began. First, the angel Gabriel came to Mary, telling her that she was going to have a baby. Then Joseph and Mary went to Bethlehem, where the innkeeper gave them shelter in a stable. And there Mary had a baby, the baby Jesus. An angel appeared to the shepherds and said There's good news. Jesus is going to be born. They went to worship the king. Finally, the 3 wise bears and their faithful camel trooped on stage. The star hung high above the stable, sparkling in the spotlight. A star, I see a star, said Sammy. The 3 wise bears kneeled before Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. The shepherds and the angels bowed down. Everyone bowed low before the baby. The 3 wise bears opened their treasures and gave them to Jesus. The audience grew very still. Then someone in the back softly started to sing, "Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright." Peeking out of the back of the costume, tears came to Sister's eyes. It seemed they never really understood the joy of giving until that moment. All the gifts of all the Christmases of all the years gone by were nothing compared to that very first gift that God gave in His Son, Jesus. The Christmas Eve play was over and the audience cheered and everyone really was excited. It was Christmas time. On Christmas morning, brother and sister led the family downstairs bright and early. They were so excited about their presents. But instead of going to their own pile of presents, they went to get a gift for each other. "Merry Christmas," they said, holding out their gifts. "From one end of the camel to the other," said brother. Brother and sister were so happy with their gifts, each one gave them big bear hugs. Their little sister opened her presents and brother and sister joined in. In the back of their mind though, they were still thinking about that money that they had left over. Maybe they could still buy themselves something. Later that morning, the family was getting ready to go to church. A light snow covered the ground and all of Bear Country glistened in the sun. As they walked on their way, brother and sister noticed a group of bears playing Christmas carols. They were collecting money for people who were in need. Brother and sister looked at each other. They thought about that money in their pockets, that maybe they could buy something for themselves, and then they decided to do something different. They both dug into their pockets and they took out every bit of money that they had and they put it in the pot for the people who were in need. Mama and Papa smiled with pride. "You know what the Bible says," Mama said. "It's more blessed to give than to receive." "Yes," said brother, "we received an awful lot, so now it's time for us to give." "Look," said sister, feeling in her pocket, "I still have 1 quarter left." And she put it right into the pan. And as she did, the bears all around said, "Merry Christmas." And brother and sister replied, "Merry Christmas." They discovered that really the best thing about Christmas is not what we get, but what we give. And Christmas really is about God giving His Son Jesus to us. So this Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful time celebrating, but remember the best gift of all is the gift of baby Jesus.